Hey there, and welcome to the Trang Nova channel. Today we are talking about public speaking for beginners and 4 reasons why anyone, yes, even you, can be a great speaker. Before we get into it, hello, my name is Trang Nova and I am a speaker and speaking coach for entrepreneurs like you to help you speak with confident authority and be recognized as a visible leader in your business and on stages. So if you are just getting into speaking, whether you want to be a speaker on stage or you are a coach, you're a creator, you're a solopreneur and you want to post videos on social media or YouTube or podcasting, this is for you, because I want to share with you these 4 reasons why anyone can be a great speaker. Number 1, speaking well isn't genetic. Of course it's not. Charisma is not something that you are born with or without. It is something that you develop over time. Speaking is a skill, and just like any skill, whether it's riding a bike or playing the piano, anyone can learn that skill and practice it to master that skill. So it's not something that you were born with or without, but it is something that you need to apply yourself to. And I know this because I am the living example of this. A lot of people say that I am a natural and confident speaker now, but that is far from what has always been the case. Like when you imagine kids playing in a school playground, and I want you to imagine this for a second, what do you see? I see kids playing together in groups, they're laughing, they're in the sandpit. But I was the opposite. I was not that. I was a kid who was sitting in the corner by themselves watching the other kids play. And the reason for that is because I was born to Vietnamese immigrant parents. So I grew up speaking Vietnamese. So when I first went to school, I couldn't even speak English. No wonder I didn't have friends. And because of that, I got teased and I became quiet and withdrawn. I was a withdrawn introvert. I mean, I'm still an introvert now. Like, let me tell you, I am an introvert, but I am less withdrawn. And even as I grew up and I started putting myself out there more and I started to create content for my businesses, it's not like I was good. I mean, look at this video from my early days of posting.
This week, we are talking about the deep squat. This is a fundamental movement and exercise for humans. But can you get down into a deep squat and comfortably sit there? If you can't, it could be at least one of 3 things.
Every time I watch over this, I cringe and I also laugh because why am I like shouting at you? I mean, I know I'm passionate, but why do I feel like I have to yell at the camera at you instead of just speaking with you? So the first thing that I want you to remember is that your ability to speak well and to lead with confidence and visibility and influence is not something that you were born with or without. Like anything, speaking is a skill that anyone can learn and master. Now, the second reason why anyone can be a great speaker is because even though many of us feel fear around speaking, remember, fear is not fact. It is just a feeling. Now, this is worth talking about because surveys have shown, and we're going to have a talk about this, surveys have shown that public speaking is the biggest fear in the world, ahead of the fear of death. Like, what? Why would you rather die than speak publicly? But anyway, that's what people have put in their surveys, that they fear public speaking more than anything else in this world. So most of us, if not all of us, have the fear of speaking. And I'm not immune to that. Like, I remember the very first time I had to talk in front of a group like it were yesterday. I still have mini trauma around it. I was in grade 5 and we had to do a 2-minute talk on anything that we were passionate about. And at the time I was good at swimming, so I did my little talk on swimming. I got up in front of my class, kids that I'd been going to school with for like 5 years, and yet as I held my cue cards, it was shaking. I was petrified. I wanted to be anywhere but there. Because I looked around the class and everyone's eyes were piercing into me. I was like, get me out of here. And as I started to talk, I was like, I like swimming, I like freestyle. My best stroke is breaststroke, and I've actually won some races in breaststroke. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the swimming carnival next year. Thank you. And I just ran back to my seat. And when I got back to my seat, the teacher who was timing it was like, Trang, you only spoke for 23 seconds. 23 seconds, that's all I lasted, and it was meant to be a 2-minute talk. But guess what's happened as I started to do more speaking? Even as an adult, at the start, I was nervous, still shaking with my cue cards, like anxious for days and days leading up to any talk. Like I'd feel that constant feeling of dread that is so uncomfortable that you just want to get it over and done with. But the second time it was a little bit better, third time a little bit better, fourth time a little bit better, until now, like even as a speaker, of course I still get a little bit of a rush before I go onto stage, but it's nowhere near as scary as it used to be. And speaking in front of the camera, speaking on social media, there's no fear around that at all. So the point is, fear is not a fact. It is just a transient, temporary feeling that we have to make our companion because it's part of it. It's part of the unknown. It's part of doing something new. It's part of putting yourself out there. So you just got to move through it rather than avoid it. Plus, when you do something enough, it's not scary anymore and you overcome that fear. Fancy that. Now, the third reason why anyone can be a great speaker is because you don't have to be an extrovert to be a great speaker. I'm not. I'm an introvert through and through. I need so much time alone at home that I don't even know sometimes why I'm in this field of work where I'm in the spotlight and I'm networking and I'm talking with people. Like I am an introvert through and through. Being an introvert doesn't stop you from being a good speaker. Like if you actually understand introversion versus extroversion, that is actually simply a preferred way of recharging our energy. So if you are more an introvert, you are better off recharging your energy by yourself, which you can do after you speak and deliver a brilliant presentation at work or on a stage or on social media. I can do that. Like I will speak and then I will recharge at home at night by myself or on weekends by myself. And if you still think that you have to be charismatic and out there and extroverted to be a great speaker or leader, just look at these figures. Brené Brown, Emma Watson, Maya Angelou, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, they are all introverts, and yet they are some of the most influential, powerful speakers that this planet has seen in the modern age. So remember, you don't have to be an extrovert to be a speaker. You can be introverted but still develop the skill of speaking, but just make sure that you do recharge and recover afterwards. Now lastly, if you don't think that you can be a good speaker because you have no idea where to start and it's so overwhelming and there's so many things that you need to learn and you need to practice and it's like how do you even get started? Well, number 4, start here. Little shameless plug, but start here. Like this YouTube channel, which is the summary of my Voice for Impact podcast. We're going to do shorter little videos as a summary of each episode that I put out, is going to be a great place for you to hear stories, to hear real life experiences, and to learn the practical components of your speaking, whether it's your vocal mastery, body language, storytelling, reducing filler words, improvisation, and more. We're going to rotate through the different components of speaking every week so that you have access to the actual teachings that you can then implement, practice, and master. Like, of course, it's YouTube, so I might not be able to go into all of the details. That's for my Voice for Impact 6-week speaking bootcamp, but this is a really great place to start. And if you have never done any speaking before and you simply want to improve the way that you deliver your communication, then every little bit is going to make a big difference. Like at the start, there's a thing called beginner gains. Every little tweak that you make at the start is going to make a huge difference. So just get started here and see where it takes you. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope that you enjoyed this. To summarize, here are the 4 reasons why anyone, even you, can be a great speaker. Number 1, speaking and leading with your voice is not genetic. It's not something that you have to be born with. It's simply a skill that anyone can learn and master. Number 2, even though you might feel fear around speaking, only one thing can happen when you repeatedly expose yourself to that thing and you do the work to move through the fear. You will rise above that fear until it does not hold you anymore. Number 3, you don't need to be an extrovert to be a great speaker. Anyone, including introverts, can be a really great speaker. And lastly, number 4, if you don't know where to start, I'd recommend that you start right here. This is going to be the place for you as a creator, as a coach, as an entrepreneur to hear stories, experiences, and learn the components of speaking so that you can harness the power of your voice. I want you to be able to speak with magnetic confidence and authority so that you can be recognized as a visible leader in your business and on stages. And when you do that, then you'll be able to lead powerful movements. You'll be able to fulfill your potential and create your mark on this world. Next week, we're going to be talking about the 5 vocal foundations. So tune in if you want to learn the most fundamentals of your vocal delivery. I'll see you then.